Hi, everybody. Welcome to Social Intercourse. And I've got Vicky here with me again. Oh, Vicky's sort of awake. Yes, perfect. I'm
For
somewhat
once.
functional today. So, what were we going to talk about today? Last week, we talked about the whole plastic surgery thing, and then we got on to tattoos. So, what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about tattoos. I was doing some tattoo research. Okay, when I say research, it's like quick readings, scrolling through things. I was trying to think in my memory of things. I thought, okay, tattoos had to have started from Egypt. Did I say that right? Egypt. And
Why would you think that though? Like, why did you go to Egypt like immediately? Because I would
I
think
don't,
I would think China.
I don't know why I went to ancient Egypt in my mind. Like I was thinking of like hieroglyphics and putting that onto it because they always had like. But I went to Egypt.
Sure.
But as I was doing reading and research, that's what everyone thought when they were finding mummies. They
Mm.
found tattoos on mummies, so they're like, oh, it started, or the oldest known at that point was Egyptian mummies. But then in like 2008 or something, or 2009, I don't know what year because I can't remember everything. Um, but
We have
I
a
think
hard enough time remembering who we are.
archaeologists found an Iceman, and the
Mm.
Iceman, he had tattoos on him, and he predated the ancient Egyptian mummies. So they're like, okay, he is the oldest known um, person, mummy, to have tattoos.
Human?
um, yeah. So, well, it was interesting with the Egyptian mummies when they were finding the tattoos, they were mostly on women. So,
So, yeah. So going back to what we were talking about, is it a cosmetic tattoo, like cosmetic
so
surgery, or is it
what they
a,
were what they were thinking was that it had to do with like eroticism, and that
uh,
maybe these women were prostitutes.
uh,
But further studies and more as more people were studying it, they're actually high priestesses. They were
okay.
it was like tattoos for giving them power, like
Uh-huh.
magical powers and symbolism for that. And it was a lot of them was to give for fertility. So on women for fertility, because they were also dots and like lines. And the
Hmm.
dots were, they said, like pain points. So it was used therapeutically. And
Interesting.
when they found Otzi or Otzi, Dave, can you roll the pics for the we have a slide.
Here we
Don't
go.
expect much, you guys. The slides are just gonna go around. Here's a little disclaimer. But this is not Otzi. These were the Egyptian mummies that they had found. And again, I
Mm.
think these were on female mummies. Um, let's go to the next slide. Uh, again, one of these is Amunet. Amunet is her name. She was a very famous, I guess, high priestess. And
Okay.
oh, we know this is not her because her tattoos are on her abdomen. Um,
Oh,
but um, yeah,
so they
we'll
weren't
go
just on
to,
the hands.
yeah, this is Otzi. Now, Otzi, this is the Iceman, and
Uh,
the most oldest known to date mummy with tattoos. He
so
has
where was he found though?
61 somewhere in an area called like Otsa or something like that.
Okay, so
Let me tell you.
is he like European or
He is, I have it pulled up here. Um, he was found in Otzel Alps.
Alps?
Otzel,
Okay.
Otzel Alps, a border between Austria and Italy. And
Interesting.
they found 61 tattoos. on his body, and they use CT scans to find them. This is why, like, a lot of the times they didn't know, they couldn't recognize tattoos right away, especially on the males, because they over time fade, and I don't know, they just couldn't find it until they did CTs. And with CT scans, they could find all the tattoos. And Otzi also had like a lot of dots and lines in like joint areas. So they thought,
Uh-huh.
he's using them as therapeutic tattoos as well. There's a couple, a male and a female. I don't know if they were actually a couple, but they were found together, mummies, who are about the same. Well, originally they thought they were the oldest found mummies, but Otzi is older than them. The male on that mummy, he had like animal tattoos and more decorative tattoos. So they're like, okay, they definitely use tattoos not just for pain. So
Right.
it's been
Almost
found.
like what you'd find on a cave painting, maybe? Like
Yeah,
that kind of
mhm,
same art?
exactly.
Mm.
Like, and that's why I was thinking, oh, well, yeah, ice age, what is it, Neolithic? Am
Oh
I
god,
saying that
please don't ask me that. It's
am I
only
saying
eight
that right?
o'clock in the morning, or 9 o'clock.
But anyways,
Something lithic.
prehistoric times.
There we go.
Ice age, caveman. So it's pretty interesting reading all this. And I got this from I just did a quick Google search, and it was the eight oldest tattoos in the world, by oldest.org. And people go on the site and look at it. There's so many more tattoos on mummies, and some of them I was like, oh, okay, that's a little scary looking. But go check it out if you want to look at more pictures. There's one, I think, no, I don't think I did that one. I don't have a picture of that one, but it was like Greek letters that spell out the Archangel Michael on a mummy. So I found that quite interesting.
Hmm.
Sorry, my dog's barking again. She's excited about tattoos and mummies. Uh, Also, probably I forgot to feed her breakfast. I'm so horrible. Anyways,
It's not gonna stop then.
yeah. So, from Egypt, yeah. There is another, like you said, from China. There is a mummy from China, and he had facial tattoos.
Oh.
Um, I don't know if you've ever seen this one. I don't have a picture of this one either, but he had like a mustache tattoo or something like that. I found that so interesting. And
Oh, on
yeah,
his
that's on
face?
a website too. Um,
Mm.
and then, going to like history of tattoos, you think of tribal tattoos. Like,
Mhm.
because that's why they said a lot of the cavemen and people were putting on tattoos so that they could be recognized if they were to die, and found. People will know
As
who
part of
they
their
were.
tribe. Mm.
Yeah, or
That's
their
smart.
cavemen. Yeah.
Mhm.
So tribal tattoos going on. You see a lot of Polynesian. I think tribal tattoos are great. I love them, and I see why people have so much respect for it, because doing some research, I found out that tribal tattoos, the meanings behind each tattoo and what it marks, not just coming into adulthood, but each symbol is when you have a new achievement or something. The tattoos are added, and it
Mhm.
becomes so intricate, and it's just so beautiful.
Mhm.
Um, and then, Dave, you can go on to the next slide because we have tribal tattoos. This one, I believe, is a Polynesian tattoo. And there's so many tribes within, you know, all, I don't know, is there like 100 something little um, countries
Islands.
within the Polynesian islands? There's a lot. So every tribe is different with their
Mm.
tattoos because it's
Mhm.
passed down. And they said over time it's become more and more decorative and more intricate than it
Of
was
course, yeah,
before.
as their skills
This one
improve,
is,
sure.
yeah, this picture is a Hawaiian tattoo,
Mhm.
um, a tribal tattoo from Hawaii, and you know, there's a lot of people. I was reading that in the 80s and 90s, tribal tattoos were popular, but they weren't of any meaning. People just made like lines and spikes and added like dragons in there or something like turtles. And then as the years went by, they started actually using tribal tattoos on themselves. Yeah. you know,
Yeah, that's are we gonna unpack that later as far as, like,
yeah,
appropriating
no,
things,
I
or you
mean,
wanna talk about
there's
it
so
now?
much. Well, yeah, we can talk about it now because I've seen even now. I think I was watching some show recently. I don't remember what show it was, but somebody had on like a tattoo, and somebody asked them what that tattoo was, and they said, "Oh, it's like a warrior tattoo." And I went online because I was like, "A warrior tattoo? This is because he was Korean." And I was like, what warrior tattoo is there in Korea? Like, I don't, this is the first I've seen this. And I looked it up and it was like a Polynesian tattoo.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, that's fucked up. Oh, sorry. Did I just,
Leap.
but it is, it's fucked up. That's like, that's not cool. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
um,
it's not just I mean,
he
I
did
can't speak for
nothing
all white
to
people, but
deserve that tattoo,
right, I mean,
and
it's not just white people appropriating tattoos, even though we do it the
oh, it's
most.
everywhere. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
And I get it. Tribal tattoos are hot, but they're not
Yeah,
meant for you. They're not
right.
meant for
You're in
me.
that
They're not
brosive
meant.
culture that you're just like, "I'm a warrior, I need, like, a tattoo to make me,
Yeah,
macho or
well, then
whatever," then you see that, you just do it.
figure out a different warrior tattoo. Like,
Yeah, like do some research. If you're appreciative of that culture, maybe you live there, maybe you studied it, maybe it has specific meaning to you. You've looked into it, you know what it means, whatever. Great. To me, that's cultural appreciation, not appropriation. If you
and you
know
still
what
can,
you're doing,
even if you studied the culture, then you would actually realize, oh, I can't put that tribal tattoo on me because
well,
you would
yeah, probably
actually
most of it. If it's
respect
an
the whole
identifier,
culture.
yeah, if it's an identifier for that tribe, then no. But if
Mhm.
it's a symbol that you pull from that or something like that, or a band or something like that.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't really have a
But that's
problem
what I was saying.
with that.
Every little thing was an achievement for the person who
Mhm.
actually gets that um, tattoo. So
But for that
unless you
particular tattoo,
can,
is that
hmm?
for all their tattoos?
I think so. That's what they were saying. I mean, it's become more intricate over time, but
Uh,
yeah, it's very embedded into their history, and
right.
um, so I don't know.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. I don't know enough about Polynesian tattoos myself. I haven't looked into that or tribal tattoos. So I didn't know if there was, if you could pick a part and use that for
Unless
something. But
somebody from that tribe puts the tattoo on you,
then
because
it's
it
no
is
bueno.
no.
Gotcha.
That's what I
Interesting.
mean,
Do the
in my
women go in
opinion.
there too, or is it just men?
I think it's just men. I mean, women
Really?
might have tattoos, but those specific like warrior tattoos and coming into adulthood, I think is the men. I don't
Ugh,
know. If
of
anybody
course.
knows, let me know. If anyone
Again,
has more insight into this, let us know because,
not
like I
fair.
said, I do quick research. So, and with my brain, I don't always retain all the things I read while doing research.
I should look more into that, but I haven't. Sorry.
That's okay. Because you know why we were busy looking up tattoos that we like?
Right. We got
And I,
distracted.
I sent Vicky on a path saying, hey, find some tattoos that you like that you think are hot or not.
10 hours later.
Because I mean, those tribal tattoos that I found, I think are beautiful and amazing. And
Mhm.
I personally like black and white tattoos. This
Ooh,
is a
there's mine.
Vicky tattoo. Yeah. I don't know who this is, but,
This is
or what that
Kim
says.
Jong-un. This is a
Okay.
K-pop guy.
A K-pop guy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I
It's
think
hard to
white,
see.
like words tattoo with words, meaningful words, I think is beautiful too. Is this in Korean?
Yeah. It's not. It's actually a weird
Is
script.
it
It
hieroglyphic?
says,
Okay.
huh?
I'm like, I don't know this writing, but it's cool.
Yeah, you can see the word heaven on his arm. It's kind of, you can
Oh,
kind of
okay, okay.
see on the
That, yeah.
bottom. But it's kind of it wraps around the
Does
hand
it
on
say
the middle.
Aloe Heaven?
No.
That's what it almost looks like.
It says, I'm trying to see it. Oh
Um,
God, now I can't remember. Now my brain, it's
anyways,
like,
that's cool. Uh,
oh, what is it? Oh my God, that's my brain. It's too early in the morning. It's
okay.
something like alien from heaven or angel from heaven or something like that. Oh,
Okay.
but
And you
it
like
goes
this
around,
like,
and then there's musical script on the middle part of his arm. There's a
oh, cool.
musical staff. And then on his
Okay.
finger, when he sings, he's got his little crown that's part of his signature.
Oh,
So
I
I don't
see
know,
that.
it's all meaningful, and I personally, for myself, I like black tattoos, and I like tattoos that have words and like a meaning to
Hmm.
it. I'm not
Same,
as
same,
much.
same. Did I say
I don't
black
have
and white? No one uses white ink. It's black tattoos. Black ink. Yeah.
no, there are white ink tattoos. I actually thought about getting one once, but it
Uh,
felt like throwing my money away because they don't last.
okay. So next picture. This is another one you
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, so this is Minhyuk's from, another K-pop guy, but he had a scar on his knee from knee surgery,
Mm-hmm.
and so this is a cover-up tattoo, and it has meaning because, this is where he's into whales because the lore behind it is there's this anime character that there was a whale that waited on this island for his best friend to come home, um, and it's kind of based in that anime lore. And then this whale is supposed to take him, and all the roses that are on it are his friends and family and his fans, and they will go anywhere they want to go on the back of the whale.
Okay.
So
Cool.
stuff like that I love. And it's a fine line tattoo, which I also like. I think it's a single needle.
Oh
Um,
gosh, I don't know what any of that means, but
we'll
one
get into
needle
that later.
fine line. Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and
Okay.
those
So the
hurt.
next one. Um. Oh, I know who
Ah,
this
there we
is
go.
because I like it too. I'm very into
Yeah.
this as well. I mean, I don't think he understood um at no, he understood what the tattoo meant at the time, but I think I saw an interview where he says he just likes the tattoo and the meaning behind it has changed for him or something. I don't know. Do you know more?
It could be. I mean, again, this is what happens when you get tattoos really young. I know if I'd gotten mine really young, I probably would have been, what is this? What was I thinking? But that's also kind of cool because you sort of mark your evolution or your
Mhm.
progression as a person. Nihilism
I,
it's a philosophy about how, do you have the exact definition up somewhere, but it's basically about where you think that things have no meaning. Life has no meaning. There's no meaning to
right.
anything.
But his life
Is it Nietzsche? I
philosophy
think
has
it's Nietzsche. Yeah, but
changed.
we loved the placement, we loved the
Yeah, I
script
love
of
the place.
it.
I think it's beautiful.
Right, and
Um,
it's like a
it could
single
be any
word
word.
and
It's just beautiful the way it's written. So whoever the
correct.
artist was, whoever wrote, it's just done so well.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I liked about it.
uh, okay, next one. This is one that I like. This like it jumps out at you. Um,
Let me get it closer. Oh, uh-huh.
doesn't it almost look like it's coming out of the skin? Um, Popping out
I
at
mean,
you.
it could be fresh and it's swollen, like, they could have taken it
Well,
right after they did it, so it's gonna
it,
smooth out and
but
flatten.
I looked at a lot of this tattoo artist's work, and it seems to be like I don't know how they do it, but it's so cool. I love it, and I love tattoos on women. I think tattoos
Mm.
look great on women. They look great on everybody, but there's just something about black ink tattoos on women. I think it's gorgeous. The next slide is this is DPR.
That's
I
yours.
think that one. I think the one on his like stomach is new. That one I was like, oh, I don't know if that one should have been added, but
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
like,
Does anybody else,
now it
is it
just looks like
supposed to be
it just
a
looks like a big
mustache with
tongue
2 eyes?
sticking out. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay, okay. I was like, is
But I
anybody
don't
else
know
seeing that,
what
or is
it
it
is.
just me?
But just this whole look of like the black ink tattoos on skin just is cool. The next
Mhm,
slide is oh, this is a BI again, the one with the nihilism on the tattoo on the back. I don't like
mhm.
color that much, but this one I thought was cool because it had a lot of um, meaning with the
Symbolism,
sailboat
yes.
and like just like kind of like a dreamy fantasy world life. And I feel it. I feel that
It's
tattoo.
a paper airplane. It's a paper airplane boat that
It's a paper.
has,
Okay. I'm
and
like,
it has,
sailboat?
balloons on it. It's kinda like Up, where they have the balloons that kinda carry it, so it's a paper airplane
Yeah.
with balloons. It's, like, going through the air.
So I thought that was cool. And then the
Yeah.
next picture is okay, it's the
Oh,
same
it's
one.
the same one.
We had the same one. So we can go on to that. Oh, this is a tattoo that I would personally get myself if I could get
Mhm,
tattoos. Not exactly like this. The octopus that I would get is a little bit different. The tentacles would be longer and wrap around my legs more. But as you're saying about that one whale tattoo, I have
mhm,
surgery scars. So starting on like my abdomen. So I would have like
mhm,
head of the octopus start to cover the scar and then
mhm,
wrap down through my legs.
mhm.
And I have a fascination with octopus. They are my spirit animals. So this is one that I would get like on a tiny one on my wrist. Either one, like this kind of cute cartoon look, but not the
Uh-huh.
color. We get the in black and white. Um, but those,
I do
if
like
I could get
color.
tattooed,
I like color, but it just depends on the color and how they do it.
if it's like mostly black ink with like a faint shade of a color, like one
Mm.
color, I think that's great. I love that too. Um,
Oh,
oh,
that's mine.
yeah. And this is pretty.
I I really liked that idea. I don't like tattoos on my back just because I can't see them.
Hmm.
And I'm kinda like, "Well, who's this for then?" If it's not for me because I can't see it. Plus, they're really hard to take care of because you're trying to put salve and wash it and everything, so unless you have a partner, which I don't, it's harder to take care of, so
I'll come
but I
take care
really
of your
liked, like,
tattoo for you. I'll
huh?
help you. I'll come take care of your
Twice a
tattoo
day,
for you.
every day? I love you, but
Like
not that
that I'll do
much.
it properly. I'll be like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. And then the infection sets in, no. But
But
I
this
just
is
liked,
like,
like, that to me was an appropriate back tattoo, and I like
it almost
winged
looks like
things.
angel
I
wing.
like
Yeah.
butterflies, I like fairies. Hmm?
So yeah, I was saying it almost looks like wings. And this is
So
one
this
that you
is
would
one
get.
that I'm gonna get. So basically, my next
Oh, this
tattoos, I've already got them picked
little.
out. This isn't a picture of my handwriting. This is just an example, but,
Oh,
I
okay.
have handwriting from both of my parents, and, I've lost both my parents, so I wanna have a tattoo on each arm with their handwriting, and a certain message, and then I'm gonna have some decorative elements around it, which I think might be the next slide, Dave.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's me. It's in
That's
there
you.
somewhere, but, it's gonna have, like, their symbolic flower on it, and it's gonna be right on my arm so I can see it and, like, think about it every day. This is actually my hip tattoo, and I had some scarring on my hip too, so this is also a scar cover up, which is, again, I just love that idea because I hated looking at it, and now it's beautiful art, and that's just amazing
And
transformative
that
thing, but
has the
it's
little slight coloring,
yeah,
right?
the butterfly in the upper right is blue, although my tattoo artist yeah,
Here we
I
go. Wait, what happened?
if I could find her in a dark alley, no, yeah, didn't do it right, so it's not the color that I wanted, but this is really fresh. It's still got the Sanoderm on it,
Mhm.
which is like a film that you put
But
on.
this kind of coloring is cool because it's not like I said, it's
Mhm.
not
It's
doesn't
supposed to be
take
just
away
that
from the
splash. Yeah, yeah. So it's a rose, and then the butterfly symbolizes my mother.
oh, that's right.
So,
You always see butterflies when you see them. It's your mom.
yeah, so, yeah, that's my thing. When I see butterflies, I think of my mom, like, it's a little message from her. So, which is why I love our graphics.
Right.
So yeah, so that's mine. So we can move off
Okay.
of my.
The next
I wish I was
slide.
asking.
This is a
This is
U.S.
my tattoo I
This
got in
is all your
Korea.
tattoos. Mhm.
Huh?
I said these are all your tattoos that you
Yeah,
currently have.
that I currently have, which isn't that much. So don't y'all come at me and say, "Isn't that cute? She's got 3." I would have a
Hey,
ton if I could afford it. I would have so many.
we're not tattoo shaming.
Huh?
Some people only have one. It's okay. We don't tattoo shame.
Right,
People,
it's true.
we
No
don't tattoo
tattoo shame.
shame. Yeah.
Yeah. But
So,
this one
okay,
is
this is
this is
picture
fresh.
bell
Oh,
or
that's
hair.
healed.
Okay.
Can we go back, Dave, or no? Can we go backwards? Okay, cool. So this is you can see it's all red. This is fresh.
There's a lot
And
more fresh.
huh?
It's a lot more brighter. The
Yeah,
ink
it's a
when
lot
it's
darker. It's crisper. It's a fairy, and it's got like sparkles coming out of the wand. And now
mhm.
you can go to the next one, then Dave, please. And then this one is healed, and you can see how all of the sparkles have now like blended into my skin, and the red ones
Mhm.
look like pimples, and the purple ones look like there's no meaning there. So actually, what I showed this because I went back and got it touched up.
Okay.
I went back to the tattoo artist and had them redo it.
I love
And this
these.
is my other ear. Yeah. And this is
Yeah.
color, and there's no black in it at all. So yeah, so much for my
For
loving
you
black
not
tattoos.
like but this is no. But if it's small, I think color is fine because it needs to pop when they're so small.
Right. And this was
Now,
I
sorry,
specifically
is
went.
there an ear hurt? Or does that
No,
not hurt?
actually, it doesn't
Okay.
hurt. Not compared to my hip. My hip really hurt. I mean, okay. I've got a high tolerance for pain. So my hip hurt a lot worse than either of my ears. That being said, the one up on the upper part of my ear, it's cartilage that didn't hurt at all. But it's kind of the ones behind my ears, they're kind of on bone, so you do feel it. Like it feels
So,
like
okay.
you're getting scratched because it's a single needle, and it's so you imagine having a single needle scratching your skin for a couple hours. So, that's what it feels like.
This is why I never actually get a tattoo, not just my allergy to the ink, but I have no patience to sit through getting a tattoo. Like, I just have, yeah, this is another example of the tattoo that I would want. But like, I have no patience for that. That would take what, how long? Forever.
Well, my hip tattoo took 12 hours.
Oh my
12
gosh.
hours, 2
Yeah.
sessions.
Yeah. I can't even
But
sit through like
I
three
love
to
it.
four
I
hours.
get into there's there's a kind of not
You
lore
say
of
you
tattoo.
like the pain.
Yes, that's part of why a lot of people get tattoos, is
Okay.
they like that feeling of getting the tattoo. And there's a
Oh,
kind of excuse me, there's a kind of high that you get.
okay. See,
I
I like
hate that.
that. I like that. No, I get that.
Yeah,
Because
it's kind of
I know.
you're releasing endorphins, and you're kind of meditating on what that pain feels like, and you're kind of chilled out on the table, and there's music, and it's kind of it's an experience, and it's just kind of, I don't know, I like it.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
Do you
I,
get
I, I,
it?
I do because I don't mind a little. I've lived through so much pain in
Mhm.
general that, it does become like a mental meditative state sometimes when I'm trying to get through the pain.
Right,
Um,
right.
but would I live through that pain? No. It's me, it's more my patience. I have zero patience for that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
it takes
Like
yeah, you have
it,
to be.
my skin starts to crawl like I want to move and do stuff. That's probably the
I mean, you
ADHD.
move, you don't. Yeah, I mean, you're not. You have to be semi still, obviously, but I mean, you're not, they let you get up and walk. Like, I don't know, but that one for my hip, I had the 2 sessions for 6 hours. I got up, I had to go to the bathroom, I had a snack, you walk around. Like, I'm not immobile for 6 hours. Like, I didn't go to sleep and wake up with a tattoo. So it's,
Dave, we can go on
you're
to
not
the
sitting the
next
whole time.
picture. Oh yeah, this is my art. not my artwork. It's a painting that I purchased. I just haven't put it up.
Uh-huh.
This is the octopus I would get on me. Next picture is the whale.
See, we sent a bunch of doubles. Sorry,
Yeah.
Dave.
So let's go through. We'll go through the next picture. We can just slide through all of them. The next one, we sent a lot of pictures to Dave. The next picture as
Next
well.
one.
It's us.
Is that it?
So because I love octopus tattoos so much, one year, my ex, I think it was like our 8-year anniversary, he
Mhm.
surprised me. He had a tattoo under his arm of an octopus. I was like shocked because he's not the type to get tattoos. He
Mhm.
appreciates the artistry in them, but he himself he's like, they're on our body forever, and he can't even decide on a light bulb sometimes. He'll decide which light bulb to get for an hour. So, but it
Mhm.
wasn't a real tattoo. It was like a stick-on semi-permanent tattoo. But I was like,
Uh-huh.
oh my gosh, I wanted it for me.
How's this my present?
But he had more stick-ons for me, so I did them too, and I was very happy with that. Just like for that temporary. Oh, these are
Oh,
tattoo fails.
okay. We're moving on. Okay, so these are tattoo fails. These are my tattoo fails.
Yeah.
There's so many on the internet if you guys Google them. And, I'm sorry for this lady, although she looked really happy about it. Don't put your kid's portrait on your body. They
We'll go on to
never
the
turn
next
out
picture.
right.
Yeah, let's go on to the
They
next
never look
picture.
right. They're just
Dave,
creepy.
yeah,
Yeah,
this one I just
just
thought
don't
it's
do
like
it.
whoever the tattoo artist wasn't very experienced or very good at drawing, or they did it themselves. That
Yeah,
they have
see,
to say
do you
it's
know
a cat.
do you know who did this? Because to me, this looks like someone put their kid's drawing on their body. A lot of parents do that. They'll take a drawing for their
Ah,
kid and they'll put
okay,
it on.
it could
I
be.
wonder.
Um, Next picture is another fail. Yeah, it's like I don't know if the tattoo artist just was mixing words up, or if they just do exactly, they're just copying what's given to them. So it's like,
Mhm.
people, let's double check. Next one is, I think, another one where people just aren't paying attention. Like, keep clamming, like, or the tattoo artist is drunk or something. Like,
Right, or people there's a lot of them where people are I don't know, they flip one letter. So are is it dyslexia? Is it you just don't know how to spell? Like, you're drunk? What's
which
the
I get it. I flip words, but I'm gonna make sure when I'm doing something, like
Right.
draw. Don't you have to draw it out in pencil or something first, or something before you actually go
Well,
into
okay.
it?
So if they're a good tattoo artist, they will, mark the stencil first. But,
Hmm.
I don't know who these people are going to, if these are prison
Yeah.
tattoos or if they're just like freehanding. You can freehand stuff. You don't have to have a stencil, but yeah. I mean,
Yeah. If
this
I'm gonna
guy
be getting on my body and it's gonna be, there forever, hopefully, like I'm gonna make sure
I
it's
was
done right.
shocked at how many people yeah, like, I was shocked at how many
next,
people are going to terrible tattoo artists.
the
Why?
next picture is another fail. These are all fails now. Yeah. Like, come on, just spell Jesus wrong.
Jesus is even annoyed. Can't you get my name
I got
right?
a lot of these tattoo fails off of Board Panda. Next
Uh,
slide is yeah, again, no pen, no gain. Like, at first, I was like, no penis, no gain. I was like, oh, that would have been better than this. But I don't know.
yeah,
Next
no.
one is it's like, wait, I know there were more tattoo fails, but I guess they're gone.
Maybe they'll
um,
come back up again.
Dave, are there more pictures for tattoo fails? No, I don't know. I can't hear him.
Okay.
But
Well, we'll
because I
go
know there
on.
was one um you had shown me of all the Chinese characters. Again, appropriation. Or like
See,
it,
I would argue that
I,
because I don't have a problem with anybody in, a foreign speaking country getting an English tattoo. please check it first with someone who
Yeah.
speaks English, because you're going to get stuff that you don't think it is. And same thing with Chinese characters or Korean, characters. Have someone else double check you,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
either the tattoo artist doesn't know, or
I
they think
think
it's
it
funny,
depends
or
on the character you want to get or the saying you want to get. Um, if it's not rooted into someone else's family or tribe or something that has meaning to somebody else, cool. But I know a
right.
lot of those tattoo fails are people going, because I saw it on Board Panda too, I think, where they go in asking for something written in Chinese and the
Mhm.
artist will actually write something else like, this foreigner can't read Chinese in Chinese. I've seen that,
Yeah,
which
that's
I think is
dumb.
so wrong of a tattoo artist. If
But I
someone's
get it.
paying
He's annoyed.
you,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's stupid. Why?
but if someone's paying you for it and they actually had the correct characters of what they wanted to say, do the
Mhm.
job. But there's a lot of people who find characters are like, this is cool, and they go to the tattoo artist. The tattoo artist doesn't know, they're just doing the tattoo, and other people see it and they're like, you know what that says. I had
Right,
a friend
exactly.
who had to get his tattoo covered up because he had gotten a Chinese character. I don't remember exactly what he wanted it to say. It was just one character to mean something like life or love or something like
Mhm,
that. But
mhm.
he found out from a friend after he got his tattoo, one of his Chinese friends, and they're like, that says it was either wet or dry. They're like, that says wet on it. That doesn't say what you want. And he's like, oh my gosh, I'm like the dumb white American. I need to get this covered up quickly. So, and that's where I was like, you should have done your research if you're looking for a Chinese character. That meant that. I don't know where you got it off of Google, but that was wrong. So
Yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah, that's dumb.
I just, I think in general, getting a tattoo, just do your research. Make sure it's done properly, and finding the right tattoo artist. 'Cause I know there's a lot of people who want really meaningful tattoos for themselves, and they go and the tattoo artist, I've heard so many horror stories of tattoo artists who just kind of do their own thing. Like, for example, somebody wanted like a specific looking bird and they came with a drawing. It was their own drawing of the bird, which symbolized something special. The tattoo artist drew a completely different bird
Mhm,
because they said they do their own designs. They don't take other, and they don't do that. They didn't say that during consultation. They didn't say that when they took the money. So I was like, oh, that's not cool.
yeah, that was what my first tattoo artist was like too, in a
Oh,
way. In a way. I had done
I want.
research with her, like, I followed her on Instagram, I saw her style, I liked her style, so
Mhm.
it wasn't that I didn't know what her style was, and she was super popular, and you had to book. She had, like, a lottery where she'd have 24 hours to take people's requests in, and then she would close her books, and then she'd be filled for, like, the next 6 months. It was ridiculous, but I was like, I want this." So,
Mhm.
I she had a consultation, which was non-refundable deposit, which I don't know, God, why do they call it a deposit when it's non-refundable? I'm
I
giving
know.
you money I'm paying for this consultation. But anyway, so I went in and I had the consultation, and she's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, great." And I told her exactly what I wanted, and I had pictures, and I sent her, we took pictures of my hips so she'd know where to place it. And this is my first tattoo, so I didn't really know what was going on. You do your research, but you still don't really know until you go through it. And so I thought the purpose of this consultation was I was going to get a drawing in a couple weeks before my appointment, and I was going to be able to see what she was going to do and all that kind of stuff. No, didn't get anything. And so I showed up for the day of my appointment, and she wasn't even there. So she was an hour late, which ticks me off from the get go. And then she kind of stumbles in, all like discombobulated and, oh, sorry, blah, blah. So then she hadn't drawn anything. So I don't even know what that consultation was for, but she hadn't done anything. So then she kind of goes in the back, leaves me by myself in the lobby, and goes in the back and starts trying to draw quickly what we had talked about. And then
Mhm.
she comes out like a half an hour later and she's like, okay, here it is. And she shows it to me. And I was like, this is nothing what we talked about. And so I'm thinking that in my head, and I was like, oh God, okay, it's gonna be a confrontation, and I hate confrontation, but I'm gonna have to say something because this is my tattoo. So I was like, so you know how we talked about this thing, and it was supposed to have this in it, and it was supposed to look like this. And she's kind of like, oh yeah, right. And then she kind of goes in the back. Again, I'm not with her. She's sketching in the back, and she goes to draw something else, and then she comes out and she's like, okay. And I was like, oh, okay, that's better. But you forgot this part that we just fucking talked about 2 seconds ago, and it's not on there. So then she finally comes back a third time, and it was acceptable. And I was like, okay, I just need it. At that point, she left me again, and I'm sitting in the lobby going, do I just leave? Do I just walk out? Because my internal alarms were going, yeah, something is wrong, something is wrong. And I thought, well, no, maybe this is how tattoos go. Maybe this is how she's artistic. Maybe this is, and you know, I do design work for a living. So I know when I have a client that says this is what they want, I go back and design it. I show them something. If they don't like it, I go back and fix it. It's a back and forth process.
Which I know because you did.
And I don't say this is my, you know, whatever. So I was like, do I just leave? And I thought, no, I've paid this deposit and I took a day off work. I had to take a whole day off work. So that was a vacation day I had to burn. So that was more money. And I'm like, and then I'm going to have to go find another artist to come back. And I really wanted the scar cover up. I'm like, I don't care. I just need to cover up the scars. So let's just go. If I knew then what I know now, I would have just left. I would have said,
I think that happens to a lot of people, the same kind of situation. It's non-refundable. So they just, all right.
Oh, okay.